What's up, guys? It's the one and only Mr. S coming to you again for another video. I figured I'd play a different map this time, try to kind of at least change things up so it doesn't get stale somewhat for the background video. I mean, even though, like I've said in the previous videos, uh, what's it called? The video is definitely not the important part. It's more of the message and things of that nature. Oh, oh, that's a helicopter. Should probably turn down the volume. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no. So figured I'd get on here and try to change it up, which I'm not. I'll say I don't mind this map, but definitely not my favorite. Like I think Forsaken or just the basic D Machine map is my go-tos, but I don't mind this map. It's just more of a pain, especially because I like to quite obviously use the shovel as frequently as possible on this map. The shovel ends up becoming a multi-hit weapon towards the power or the health gap or whatever the hell it's called. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, man, I tell you what, man, this damn heat wave is not the move. I went outside today to walk my dog, and it was insane. It's like getting hit by the damn sun directly. Man, I tell you what, I do not care what anybody says. There is no way that 100 degree weather is better than 30-degree weather. Like I'm such a cold person, and it's like as soon as you get in the heat, it's like my body does not want to work for shit. Like it will, because obviously, I've pushed through and everything like that. But man, it's such a difference in how I operate in the different weather. I don't know why I went the long way. I never go this way. I guess probably because it's just continuous motion. Um, mm, 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 mm. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, definitely not. Come on, where the hell does this dude at? Oh, that's no spawn here then. Yeah, there he is. Look at there, man. Like, I don't care what anybody says, man. That shovel is top tier. Can't beat it. The fact you can chop down bosses with a single blow. As long as you know how to maneuver, man, that's just nothing. Oh damn, I'm broke. Ha! Story of my life. Nah, nah. Well, I mean, yes, it is a joke though. I didn't mind growing up poor. It taught me a lot of things that a lot of people seem to not understand. Which I mean, we wasn't like poor. Like we never was homeless. So I know it could be a lot worse. Uh, but I mean, we got close. Like we was hotel hopping at the end of my run of living with my mother. That's what made me go live with my dad in the first place. But I mean, we was still usually in houses. It's just we just had to move consistently because only pay the rent for so long type of thing. Uh, but no, my mom made it work. Like I give my mom a lot of props. A lot tougher than I would have out there, man. That's everything she was facing. Boy, damn, where am I going? I'm over here. I'm not paying attention. That's what it is. But yeah, no, we definitely give her the props for it. But yeah, no, I know she tried, but just because of the way for her coming up, being on her own since I think she was 15, coming from Chicago. Yeah, no, she had it rough, but I mean, she had me when she was 18, and then she had my younger sister 5 years later. But I would say like she never really had much help. It was just always me, my mother, and then two siblings on that side. Stepdad was around for a while, but he was never any help. He was always, more of the kryptonite. Um, and then of course my grandma that I mentioned in the previous video. But yeah, like I said, I mean, growing up poor, it's it's a blessing and a curse. Like it teaches you a lot of things, but also like there's so many people who are just they're worked their whole life away for a piece of paper, and I've never understood. Like I want money. I would love to have money. It'd be great to be financially stable and things like that, but I don't love money at all. It's more of just I know that it's a necessity, so I need to get it. But also because of that, like I'm very open with my money or just possession stuff in general. Like I give like we play basketball Saturdays and I'll be quick to, give one of my guys, some clothes or something like that if they need it because they're sweating or whatever else, or which I get to keep because if I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put clothes back on that another man put on. I'm weird like that. It's kind of one of those things. Everybody has them, so don't be an asshat. Uh, but no, yeah, I quit to give them stuff or anything like that because I know it's just material stuff. Like I have a full closet of clothes. Uh, closet's probably about I don't know 5 foot wide, not huge. I mean, not small either. And I got plenty of clothes. Like I have so many clothes. Like, I have probably more new clothes that I haven't put on, or clothes that I haven't wore in years upon years than the outfits I usually wear. Because I just wear the same thing. Because I don't. I mean, I don't care. I dress for my comfort. So it's usually just slides. Well, not slides recently because I got the motorcycle, but it's usually just slides, basketball shorts, tank top, or slides, basketball shorts, t-shirt. Or work, all my work clothes. Obviously, you got to dress a little different than working in construction. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. So I mean, a lot of the material stuff, it has no way on me. Like it'll be nice. My whole thing is more like if I get money, the thing what's gonna be breaking my money is like vehicles and stuff like that because I'm an adrenaline junkie. So fast cars, fast, bikes. Like that's the moves. But then, oh, I didn't come back on. Did I get that? Yeah, dude. But yeah, no, which I mean, I've had my the first vehicle I drove was a 2000 V6 Mustang, which it was peppy. It had like the low end to it was peppy as hell, but really like, that's where I kind of picked it up. But I mean, even when I was younger, I was always like, I used to like jump off the top of barns. Like I jumped off of 2-story barns before when I was a kid for just for the adrenaline rush, and it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. Like we jumped on like it was in the neighborhood that my mom lived in where the food truck had to come and things like that. And she had a 2-story barn in the back of it. And whenever you went in, it was just an open area, and then it had a ladder going up the back, and then you could go up and climb on uh the joists going across the ceiling, and then there was an opening out in the side of it to the front left of the place. It wasn't in the front of the barn, but it was on the side, so you can climb up the pitch of the barn, and it was a steep pitch, and I mean, it was probably every bit of oh, I gotta think about this carefully. I don't know, maybe 20 foot in the air. I would think it was tall. It was like it was way higher. We should not have been jumping off it. But yeah, so we would climb to the pitch of it. No, I lied. Actually, I think we did. I jumped from the pitch before, but we mainly would jump from we started jumping from one of the other sides just to make it easier. But anyways, you would jump onto basically it was a blown out mattress I think we found on the side of the road or something or another. And essentially you just jump off and yeah, when you hit the ground either you roll through it or you're an idiot and you knee yourself in the face. Kind of depending on the kid who was jumping off. Of course, yeah, it was my idea. And I would always there was times where I would just land and kind of fall back. Most of the time, yeah, if you would hit and roll through it, then your body would absorb it, which looking back is probably the reason why I got bad knees, or I'm sure it didn't help the knees. I was doing good. Shut up. Oh yeah, a little late. But yeah, no. So we've always done. It's always been a adrenaline thing. Like I've just always been that way. But like my mom speeds, my dad he used to speed. So, I mean, maybe it's a generational thing, maybe. Which personally, what I think is I have ADHD, so life for me is really sped up. It's like it's non-stop. Like I don't understand it. Well, I mean, I do understand it, but it's kind of a hard thing to explain. But it's like everything just happens faster. Like my mind operates seems like 2 3 times faster than anybody else. So like I was always a kid in school who was tapping with pencils, or my leg was always shaking at 100 miles per hour. I can't stand still, like just because my mind is operating so much faster than reality's moving. I guess would be a way to put it. I don't know. I guess that makes sense if you really think about it. But anyway, so like whenever I drive the speed limit, I like okay, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I don't go the speed limit. I never go the speed limit. I do not care to go the speed limit, and nor will I ever go the speed limit. Like there's been times like traffic laws. I mean, I stay within them, and I'm very safe about how I drive. But on that note, I'm not going to go the damn speed limit because the speed limit is for people who can't handle going fast. So everybody's brought down to the bare minimum, basically. So no, like I've always averaged probably 20 over. Like it's just I don't know. It's this is for entertainment purposes only. Gotta watch out, man. The government's always listening. I was thinking about that earlier. I bet whenever you mute your phone or your controller or your headset or anything like that, I bet they can still hear you. There's not a doubt in my mind. That seems like such a them damn. Hmm. I forgot he was a part of this map. Oh shit. That fast as fuck, boy. We got grenades too. Yeah, dude. Dun, 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 dun. Oh shit, I missed it. Oh shit. Get out of there. Look at that. Oh, and that was a order for my. This is how you really do the trials. Man, but no, like I was saying, and what was I saying? Government. Before that, adrenaline. Okay, yeah. So, but no, like speed limit. I I don't. I can't. It's like whenever I go to speed limit, I feel like I don't know. It's like I feel like my soul's like my head's going to explode. It is a very it's odd. I don't know. Like, but it does. I cannot do it. Everything in my being it goes against going that like slow. That's a little different. Like when I walk, I do the same thing. Like if I would get behind someone really slow, it does drive me crazy. But my body's hurting, so I've learned to slow down a lot more. So that one I've really gotten over. And I got short legs too. That's also another thing. Like I got a tall torso, which makes up a majority of my height, but my legs are freaking. Yeah, I got dubbed short for sure. God knew how dangerous I'd be if I was tall. No, I probably never would have found God if I was tall in all reality. Just because I wouldn't have that, I wouldn't have been humbled like I was. I would have. My personality's already big, but no, man, I don't know. I don't understand it. I've never been able to go to speed limits, so I'm always. It's like everything is sped up. Like that's one reason why I can play zombies how I do. Like, see, in reality, if you're watching a video as I'm talking, if I'm consistently speaking to you in a correct thought and it is non like it's fluent and it's coming out, correctly and I'm pronunciating correctly and things of that nature, then the game is simply just an autopilot. Like right now, I'm really not paying attention to what I'm doing. I am to a certain extent, but not really enough to break my concentration to what I'm trying to say. Because I my mind like mine has it constantly runs. It doesn't stop. That's one thing like I understand freaking suicidal thoughts and all that. I get it, man. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I'm trying to help people because with me, when your mind is running nonstop 24/7, it gets very tiring. And like, I've done become used to it because I've lived it forever. But on that note, when your mind and you're overthinking, plus it always happening and it's nonstop, and it all adds up, and you go down the rabbit hole, and you think negatively instead of positively, then you essentially, it doesn't matter what anyone else like. It's bad to say in that way, but it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks for you doing it because you can't live with it no more. You know what I mean? Like it's selfish, but it's because it's such a hard battle. But, so it's different for some people. Like for me, I look at that. That's like this is the perfect uh autopilot weapon. Anyways, like it's different. Like the only thing that's kept me around, like yes, my relationship with God has influenced my life greatly, and that is the reason why I am even able to be on here and speak. That's the only reason I am able to, the real reason I have a PlayStation 5 right now. Like it's helped me in life. It's helped me financially, helped me physically. Like, even though I do struggle, I'm still doing better than I know a lot of people. I'm in a more consistent place than I ever was as a child. So with that, there is a certain amount of ability that comes with it. So yeah, it's like I know I'm like that, but I also know like I know how bad of a person I know. Like it's all within reason, essentially. But anyways, just living with that ADHD and everything, man, it's like it does. It's truly a battle that only few can really they can understand where you're coming from, But it's like it's a superpower in a way. So, there's a lot of pros, but there's a lot of cons. But see, my thing, like speed limit and everything else, it's more we're being forced to be brought down to the average. And even though it's it's considered a disorder, it's either attention deficit disorder or attention hyper deficit disorder. Even though it's counted as a disorder, it's definitely a superpower. But like my mom, like I even when I was in first or second grade, I want to say first. I don't remember. It was either first or it was fourth. No, it was first. I was young. Okay, so it was probably around first grade. You know, I think that was too young. Maybe second grade. I don't know. I don't know. It's my timeline. Like I say, I've had a lot of my childhood's blacked out, so I'm trying to piece it together as I'm reminiscing about it because I usually haven't thought about anything from my childhood in God knows how long. Anyways, uh, essentially when I was around first grade, my second grade range, around, when your thoughts are coming in, you've come to reality for a while, but not that long. Like it's still very fresh, very new. But me, I essentially, I grew up quicker, I guess, because like I said, my mom and stepdad was fighting, so I was having to take my younger siblings and bring them in a room and having to make mature decisions at a young age. But around first, second grade, my mom had me tested or whatever else, and they put me on whatever hell the pills are they put people on for ADHD. I never, I was young, I didn't know the name. I've heard it before. One of my best friends, he's on them, because he has bad ADHD too. But we never managed to know the name, obviously. But so essentially, I don't need to hit that. I got this gun right here. But essentially, my mom had me on it, and it basically zombified me. And I remember it because it's like I would just get locked in place, and like but it didn't take no time at all. And my mom took me off of it because she said like it was just it wasn't me. It was took everything away and things like that. And that's really what they do, man, like, the government and everything, like, I don't big the pharmacies and all that, they're their own corporation. I hope y'all know that. They are not trying to heal anybody. People who like, there's people who have gotten healed by cancer. There are people who are getting healed by cancer and AIDS and all these other things using frequencies. Something that Terrence Howard speaks on that I've watched videos on where how the power of frequencies, and it's something that I'm looking into, and as time goes along and I can afford to look into it more, should I say, then of course I will let people know. Damn, I thought the big dude was still alive. But no, so there's ways to cure these things, but big pharma doesn't want to cure these things. There's a lot more profit in healing things than curing things. There's a lot more profit in the treatment than the cure. The cure is a one-time thing. The treatment is lifetime. Which I do. I know it sucks. I know cancer sucks. My grandmother died of cancer. My great grandmother died of cancer. I'm 95% sure my mom has brain cancer. Or she has tumors on her brain. She's also highly liable for the pancreas cancer that killed my grandmother, because apparently it runs in the family, because that's what my great grandmother died by. Um, I'm saying I'm unsure on my mom just because it's something we don't talk about. I feel like I know I've heard it before, and I've made like little jokes and jabs about it. Because my mom's a little special. She knows that, and that's why we love her. But I know it's just because life has not been kind. She is. She's tough. She's strong, boy. One of the toughest women I've ever met, I can tell you that. But anyways, that's why. But I'm really unsure just because I never really asked her. But yeah, my grandma recently passed from it, and so I get it. I get cancer is not fun, but it's just a part of the sin of this human body. It's the flesh. That's what it is. It's dying. It's rotting away essentially because it's away from the source. It's away from its power. Its power is up in heaven, yet we're down here. So on that, I get it, but there's frequencies that apparently it affects your body because the whole world, everything in our universe runs on vibrations, frequencies, because everything on an atomic level, everything vibrates, everything is moving constantly, and with that, there's always energy that gets put out. Energy is eternal. Energy does not go away. So, on that level, damn, I forgot my point. Uh, hmm. Yep. See, that's where ADHD tends to get you. Whatever. It's hard to figure out. But yeah, okay, yeah, big pharma. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. Oh man. But no, big pharma. That's all it is. It's all about just they don't want to help people. They don't want to take care of people. Same thing with freaking hospitals, man. Like, why is America's hospital? Why does it cost so damn much? Make it make sense for me. If Americans are paying taxes on literally everything, they're gonna have to. You gotta pay taxes. You gotta freaking get permission. If you're gonna build on your land, you have to ask them if you can fish. You have to ask them if you can hunt. You have to get permission to carry firearms, which I kind of understand the firearm thing, but I will also say guns don't kill people. People kill people. If you think guns kill people, you're an idiot. That's like saying that we shouldn't have cars because drunk drivers cause fatalities. Like, no, you're an idiot. Except it's the person who's just drunk. Anyways, uh, you have to get permission for all these things. Everything is taxed. You're taxed on everything you buy, everything you sell. Yet, for some reason, we have to pay all this money to go seek medical help for your body. Like, from what I hear, other countries, they don't roll that way, which, I mean, maybe it's too good to be true, but maybe it's not. Which I will say, once I make it, I will probably be leaving America. I don't care to be here. But no. So essentially, the the government, all that's all they're just trying to bleed everybody dry. That's all they do. It's all just greedy. They're all trying to help themselves and make the pockets fatter. Damn, boy, it's making a hell out of me. the good thing about the shovel too is as you kill it, you regain health and stuff like that. So that's why as long as you can keep oh shit swinging, you'll be all right. But no, it's wild though, and it's just everybody's so blind to this truth. Like they'll never understand it. You know, back to the point that I was. Sorry, I kind of spaced out for a second. I was trying to figure out what the hell I was gonna say. But yeah, back to the whole thing about growing up and being, being poor, coming from that humble life. Like, and it's just also like I said in my last film, like, man, I admire black people, and I'm not gonna say African American. I think African American's more racist than just saying black, black, white, that's Mexican, like that's what you are. Which no Mexican's a little different, but you really can't say tan. Everybody's tan. Like I'm a white guy, but I have a lot of Indian and a lot of German, so I'm a dark white guy. Like obviously I'm a white guy, but I'm not white. I'm not like a damn t-shirt. I'm just a really light shade of brown. So in reality, I'm closer to brown than I would be to white. I don't know, in a way, like it's just this is how I see it. Because if I wear a white t-shirt, it's very discrepant difference. I look closer to brown than I do white. But obviously, if you get dark brown, it looks darker. But I'm still in more in the brown family than the white family. It looks like. Anyways, which I mean, everybody technically is besides albinos and maybe certain Irish people. A lot of people are just brown people, just lighter shades of brown. Anyways, but that's one thing I say about like black people, man. They just a lot of them grow up in that lifestyle. Like I know people say like it's the culture. Like I don't know the culture severely because I was still white, so I was still excluded with some things. But I know more than a good 70% of the whites, should I say? Like I've been to the cookouts. I drink Kool-Aid. I wear nice Jordans. I don't want creases in my shoes. Nice clothes, nice style, you gotta match. Rap was always the music I listened to. And I mean like old school rap, like Pac, Biggie, Nas, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang Clan, uh, Chris Cross, LL Cool J, which I know he's kind of rap and R&B in a way, kind of depending on how he's feeling. Uh, Exhibit, Busta Rhymes, Tribe Called Quest, etc. But also listen, like Eminem was huge artist that I listened to when I was a kid, just because I could relate. It was a poor white dude growing up in the hood. It was perfect. Like that was who I was. And also, I mean, I'm not going. I don't think I look like him. I think there's differences, but I guess there's some similarities too. But I think the main one is the fact that we're both white and ghetto. So my whole childhood, even to this day, like I was talking to a childhood friend on Facebook. He commented under one of my posts, and it calls me Slim Shady. It's either Slim Shady or Lil Eminem. Like that was just always what I was called because that's just growing up that way. You have to be a certain way and you have to be tough. Like my first fight was before kindergarten because I mean, I was white. That's one thing about growing up poor and white. Everybody says white privilege. White privilege is BS if you ask me. Like I'm not saying it's not out there. There's some black people who is privileged too. I really don't think it's just one side or another. That's just more of a way to divert everybody. But no, I've never seen privilege. Like growing up poor, that's one thing I said. That was the worst thing about growing up being poor and white. Is the black people hate you because you're white, and the white people hate you because you're poor. Like everybody always looked at me like it was a constant thing. It was constant judgment. I got in a lot of fights just because of me being white. But also, I mean, I was also a I've always been I've always been myself, should I say. I was never going to change and stuff like that. I would avoid conflict and I still do because I dislike conflict because I was always around it growing up. But I've never liked conflict, so fighting was always last resort kind of type thing. I'm tired of this damn mod. But no, conflict's never been my thing, so I always avoided fighting if I could. But at the same time, I was never afraid of it, so I was always myself, but, like, it just seemed like I got extra attention being the only white guy at every school I went to. Like, every school up till the end of my 7th grade, it was always me. Like, there was some times where there'd be 1 more, maybe 2 more, but that was it. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. Like, I try not to exaggerate because I think it's just another form of lying. So if I can be as close to details as I can be about life, I'm going to be. So it's no exaggeration when I say that. Like, even, during my 6th grade year, okay, so end of 6th, this is when I left living with my mom and moved in with my father, 'cause they was never together, so, since I've been around and always lived separately, and I've always, like I don't like change like that, that's always been something that which I think that's every human, but I didn't like change, so when I was at my mom's, I was always at my mom's. I would go to my dad's house once in a blue moon at times because of my siblings, because I have a lot of siblings. My younger sister, Brianna, and my older sister, ooh, I don't know, who cares? My older sister, Gabby, like, those are 2 of my best friends growing up. They still are, like, those are my ride or die. I would do whatever for them. Me and Brianna has grown slightly apart, but that's just because, it kinda happens when you're adult and we have different viewpoints on things. Me and Gabby has grown closer because our viewpoints are more similar when it comes to God and just I don't know, it's it's a work in progress, which I know Brianna's still best friend, yeah, and I would die for her any day, her or her family, and I'm extremely proud of who she's becoming. I I've seen a lot of growth, I will say that, but it's just our relationship isn't as like it was, but she is still like I'm very proud of who the adult she is and the person she's become. Great mother, about to die. Anyways, so just because of that, I would go to my dad's house, but it wasn't very often. But the end of pretty much 6th grade is when we started moving from hotel to hotel. And 6th grade, I went to 3 different middle schools. I went to Ferndale Middle School first in High Point, and then I went to Wellborn Academy in High Point. And then that's when I moved, and then I started going to Aycock in Greensboro off of Summit Avenue. And when I was there, there was 2 other white guys. There was one of the white guys who was in 6th grade who already had a mustache for some reason, so I always thought it was kinda odd. He was a cool dude, and I talked to him a lot. I think his name was Alec or something of the nature, Alec. And I didn't mind him, like, he was actually a really cool guy, but it was just odd had seeing a kid that young with a mustache. And then there was another dude that I seen who was in 8th grade, and he was a white dude with cornrows, so that pretty much explains to you the white people that was there, you know? It wasn't few, but then after that, I ended up leaving and went to Eastern Guilford Middle School at the end of 7th, and I stayed there till I graduated. But no, like I said, like, I was always just the culture and the mentality was just who I was. There's some white boys who like Malibu Most Wanted where you can tell it's so forced. Like they just think it looks cool, which it does. That's why people want to do it. Because people love the black culture. Y'all, everybody they're cool. They're cool as hell to chill, laid back, they have fun. They don't really care what you're gonna think. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. But at the same time, there's also really obnoxious skills to that. So, on that, like ghetto, I don't like ghetto. Not now. I used to be ghetto, but I'm not anymore. But it's annoying, like the real ignorance, loud, and just you can't have a conversation. Like I ain't got time for that shit. But I will also say that black people, that's where everybody wants to be like them. But you can tell a fake. Like I have a friend named Jeffrey, uh, and he tries, he does, which he's done broken now that he's gotten older. He's found himself. He found who he was. But man, when he was a kid, he tried to wear the snapback, trying to wear the shoes and everything else. And he was poor, but he wasn't ghetto. He wasn't in the hood. He was country poor, so it was different. And he would try, and cool, great guy. and I'd help him out any way I could, but you can just tell he wasn't from that life. So that's just really what you mean. But like, so I was the culture was a part of me, and like that's like I say, like my best friends are black, my lifehood friends are black, my well, lifetime, not lifehood, lifetime friends are black. Like I'm really close with all their families. Uh, my basically one of my other mothers is my best friend Antoine's mama, and like I can go around her like I make like they just they know me. Like we make jokes all the time. Like there was this one time, right? So we was in her house and she was talking about kind of defenses we have, and I was saying that I have this, that, and the other. But then I said I have a nightstick, and I have like because my buddy JJ had it and he left it behind when we were roommates, and I was like, shit, that's mine now. He obviously didn't care about it, so I essentially I have a actual like the nightstick, and I have it in my bathroom. And I was like, I was talking to her about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I have this, that, and the other." And I was like, "I have a nightstick." And I was like, "Oh, you know what a nightstick is. You're kind of pretty familiar with it from over the years." And see, a lot of people get freaking butt over crap like that, but she knew it was a joke, so she kind of laughed it off. And honestly, like things like that, like that's how like it's people they know my character to know enough to know it's not racist. They know me enough to know that I would never mean a thing, and I would do anything for these people. It's just funny. Stereotypes are funny. People are just freaking sensitive now, but that's why everybody's so damn miserable. Like that's why I'm happier than you because it's funny. It is. It's, get the hell over it. So racist jokes, any of those, like I'm good for them all. If they're funny, I'm going for it. Mm, yeah, take a deep, like an axe murderer. But yeah, no, like I said though, the culture, like, there's nothing like it. I remember going to the cookouts, like playing like red light, green light, playing cards, have the hot dogs, the hamburgers, loud music, Kool-Aid, the sweet tea, fried chicken, I mean, the stereotypes were there. That's what makes it so funny. Like stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. Like white stereotypes are funny, black stereotypes are funny, Mexican stereotypes are funny, Asian stereotypes are really funny. Like, man, Family Guy jokes, like, I quote those all the time because 'cause they're funny, like, get that like, people need to get over it, people are so damn sensitive these days. But no, like Asian drivers, like, the fact that Asian people can't drive or women can't drive, like, women jokes are funny, men jokes are funny, like, they're all hilarious to me, so I say them all, and if you don't like it, well, you can, yeah, that's what you can do. I had a thing to say, but it wasn't very nice. You can me, how about that? if you can hear and understand if you can you kinda smell what I'm stepping in. How long do I have I already been doing this video? Okay, I got time. But yeah, no, take a deep. But no, man, if you just if you're sensitive over stuff like that, like, get over it, man. It's funny, it is. And like, everybody they say everything and then like, oh, you shouldn't say this and that, but all the black people I've ever known have never had any issues. Only people have issues with me doing stuff like that are either A, I will say, really old black people who don't know me, they find it offensive. There's been a few times where I've said jokes and my friends know it was a joke, but older black people just 'cause they were like they remember a different time, and I understand that. So I learned to stop being that way only around people who I know because if it's not a joke to them, then I'm not gonna say it if I'm gonna make them uncomfortable, you know what I mean? So I obviously know how to filter myself. Like one of my friends slash he's essentially my cousin, but I grew up with the guy's name's Jamari, and I made some joke about him. I forgot what it was, and his grandmother gave me like the meanest look ever. Like I always felt like she never liked me. I mean, her mom was really cool, and or his mom was really cool, and it seemed like she was great because they were essentially married into the family. But we also went to church together our old childhood in a way. Well, when I went to my dad's, I would go to church at times, and that's when I would see him basically. But if I was at my mom's, obviously it was in High Point or Alabama for a while, or I was moving around everywhere. So Tennessee, so it was obviously it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It was a spotted. It was just it was a damn what spotted attendance was at that church. Is basically to say. So I didn't see him all the time. But as I got older, and I started going around more at times, things like that. Like, yeah, we got close, started playing basketball a lot together. He used to come with us all the time. We'd wake up at me and some friends wake up at 5 in the morning on Saturdays and go play at the Y. And he would, he'd come with us and play like that. So, it was always cool, but it's just, yeah, his grandmother just, yeah, I guess she heard the joke and just, I guess it was just more white people in general. Like, Um, if I recall correctly, I think as time went on, we got cool, she would talk and then, we'd kinda be like that, but I haven't seen her in so long, I wouldn't don't really know. So, no, obviously, I know the filter, but people who know me, they know that I would never mean anything. Like, that's why, like, I'm not I used to say the N word more than black people said it, and I never got in one fight over it. No one ever confronted me on the standalone fact. No one's ever said, "Hey, stop saying that," because you can just tell from how I pronounced it and how I said it, and the same thing. How I pronounced it and how I pronunciated it and the context that it wasn't coming from a place like that. Like my mom taught me that that meant friend. It was, like, oh, what's up, my nigga? You come up, you dap your boy up. That's just what it was. Like, but also it has multiple meanings. It could just mean that guy over there, but it never meant nothing black. Now, the ER, I won't say that. Pause. That's not 100% true. If I think it's gonna be funny, I might say it, but it's only with, like, my really closest friends, but I will never say it out of context. I'll never because that's not a funny word. I understand I know the power of words very well, and I know that's not okay for them, to or not for them. It's not okay to them or any just it's that group I know what kind of memory and what kind of feelings it brings, so I would never say something like that in order to offend nobody. But the A, yeah, I said it all the time, and I never had one issue with it because people knew me. They knew me well enough that where it's like, okay, yeah, this dude is just he grew up in the culture. He grew up like that. Like, look at him dressed. He has high top Air Force Ones on. He has tight jeans. He has, black tee with a gold chain. He has a snapback on backwards, sagging his pants a little bit. He's talking with slang. It just the whole way I carried myself, it was just because I was from that culture. And I think that's just a lot of people fail to realize stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It's just I think it's just a different world we live in. Like people are just really sensitive now. People can't take a damn joke for nothing. Like it really is wild. I wouldn't survived in this generation, basically. Like who I am, I've always been unapologetically myself. Like, of course, I'll filter at times when necessary, but I'm still always be myself. Like, I've never been someone who you gonna make me fold up on my beliefs or my oh shit, my beliefs or morals or my principles. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna change up like that because I know who I am, and that stuff means a lot more to me than anything any other individual on this earth could do. Which, and at this point now, it's really different because I got God on my side, so I really don't fear nothing. Like God has made me a very dangerous individual, humbly, because I know without Him, and all the glory goes to Him for me being in any way of the shape of who I am. But hold on a second, Corey, what are you doing? If you get water, go ahead. I didn't know. What are you doing? Get on the couch, relax. Get on the couch. You gotta go outside. You really gotta go outside right now. Damn it, man. Alright. But yeah, no, I go open this damn door to this sauna. Hurry up. But no, basically though, like I said, growing up in that culture, man, it made me really think and act differently. But I'm very thankful for it. I'm very glad I grew up in a humble beginning because it taught me a lot of lessons. And even though I pray that I make it and I pray that I'm financially able to do the things that I want to do in this life, and I don't have to worry about bills and everything else, which I'm sure the government will come and try to take it off from me after a while. But I have ways where I think I might be able to help counter that. But even though I hope to make it, it still taught me a lot of lessons and Cora, come on, a lot of different things that I think growing up with money it don't teach you. Man, this damn dog. Come on, I'll let you come out a little bit later. Well, damn man, I got furs all patchy. The dog's getting old, so her skin's all irritated. Which I'm thinking I might know something that can help it, but I gotta have money to fix it, unfortunately. Anywho, no man, but I will say that culture is just that's why the black culture is copied more among than any other culture. Like no one dresses up to white people and acts like them. No one dresses up like Asians and acts like them. It's just black people. Black people are the only people have people who try to be copycats, and it's because the culture is contagious and it's like you learn to appreciate the little things in a way. You know what I mean? Like it it shows you that things like money, things houses, like vehicles, like you can't let stuff like that dictate your joy because you don't got it. If you waited to, waited to be happy till you have money, then you're never gonna be happy. You waited to have peace until something that has to happen, then you're never gonna have peace. That's just how life is in general. If you're always wanting something, then you're never gonna be full. You're always if you're always comparing, you're never gonna be happy. Like you gotta be you gotta have gratitude for what you have now. You know what I mean? So it's just black people just they know things like that and it's taught them and black people, like, their energy and their spirit and just man, like, it really is, like that's who I identify as, like, people is like, "Oh, you can identify as a woman." You can't, just to let you know. But people say you can identify as a woman, like, that's what I identify. I identify as a 6'5" black dude. That's it, like, 'cause I have my best friend Sean, and that's almost his build. I think he's, like, 6'4". He's huge as hell, plays basketball, we ran in a gang for a little while together. We always ended up back together because when you move in a ghetto, so does everybody else. And we would just always end up in the same neighborhood. So second and third grade, we lived around each other. That's our first, second, in pretty much summer of first, second, third. I moved again after that summer, and then we came back together at beginning of sixth when I went to Ferndale. And that's how his build, but he's, gang banging, that's what he did, his fights. I remember one time I seen his mama, he gave him birthday chili licks with a switch before, which I'm thinking now, like, I didn't understand it when I was young, like, but it scared the shit out of me because I was sitting there, we go into we're in his house, and he comes in, and she's like, "Hey, Sean, happy birthday." And he's like, "Thank you," and then she pulls the switch out and, like, grabs him, and, like, at first, it's like he's laughing, and then it slowly just becomes crying because she's whooping him with the switch. And I'm thinking now that he did something at school maybe, and that's how she handled it. But I also know, like, she never played, like, man, they had to have the house clean. They had to, like, cause she worked multiple jobs, she's a single woman, and, I give her a lot of props. Her name is, Katrina. She's also my sister's name. Uh But she worked 2 jobs, but man, when she was home from work, like, even though she would clean the times that she would cook, she like she needed the help. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Like, it was the same way for me and my mom. My mom was a little bit more, a little OCD and stuff, so she was more, she threw me at the house in the morning and was like, "Don't come back till the street lights on. But you better be back when the street lights on, because if not, you're getting your tail tore up, you're writing sentences, something's gonna happen," type of thing. Because obviously in the hood, your mom, you don't want you outside during late nights, and because of that, it stopped me from seeing a lot of things, I think. But no, yeah, so he comes inside, yeah, she's like, gives him freaking, I don't know, it's probably like 12 licks with a switch for his birthday, licks, and that man, it scared the hell out of me. I was like, 'cause he was laughing, I thought it was a joke at first, and I realized it was severe, and I was like, "Damn, man." Like, it's just, you have to learn the hard way. Like, that's why I say, like, my mom let a kid punch me in the face in kindergarten because he was talking about her, and I went and told her, and she's like, "Okay, we need to handle this now," because she grew up fighting. I've seen, like, she's fought 300-pound Marines before, she's fought crackheads, she's fought my stepdad. She's a damn boxer, boy, she got hands for days. And, she was like, "Yo, we need to handle this now." I was like, Okay," and she went and found the kid. I was like, "Yo, come here," and she's like, "You talked about me?" And I was like, "Yeah, he did," and, kinda argues, "Okay, fight it out right now." And you could tell the little boy, he knew the same thing too, because he swung. But me, I couldn't do it because I don't like violence, so I just balled my fist up, I was mad, so I was tearing up. Like, it was a very severe type of rage, and I was always like that until I got to around 4th grade, and that's when I learned to kinda cut that off too. Just because I never liked violence, my house was always in constant panic, and it was constant conflict. Life wasn't gentle, like, my mom was always dealing with stuff, my stepdad was dealing with stuff, so I was at school, and, everybody I was around was just dealing with stuff. Everybody, it's just that whole atmosphere is like, so even though it was a lot of, like, there was so many fun times, there's a lot of pain that comes from that background too. But it teaches you a lot of lessons. And essentially, I never liked violence. I still don't like violence. I like my peace. I'm not gonna fight you if I ain't got to. I'm not gonna argue with you if I ain't got to. No, I don't want to. I'm not gonna let someone else's emotions or someone else's character dictate how I act or how I feel. Because if you do that, you give people too much power. So, with that, I never liked conflict until I got older. But yeah, so she has a kid come up and punch me, and I just kind of looks at him, and that's the way some of them things went, living that kind of lifestyle. It's also funny too, like, it's just weird the things that you're kind of used to. Like, I remember one time I went to my buddy Archer's house. It was me and this is a fellow white guy in the ghetto. As I got older, because I met my one of my other lifelong friends, Darius, when I was in 4th grade, and that was when I lived in the trailer park in Five Points, High Point. And right beside that trailer park it was a nice house. Listen, like, it's the one nice house in the neighborhood. You can tell that house has been here for a long time. Everything else kind of got built around it. And that's where he lived. And he was, just a little church white boy, glasses. Like, I ended up being a really bad influence on him, honestly. But him, and then it was him and then his friend Archer. And this was like later on, probably I would say fifth maybe. But I met Archer through Darius, and yeah, so we go to his house, and yeah, it was cold. So we ended up sleeping in his kitchen floor because we had to sleep by the stove so that we stayed warm. Like things like that, like that's some stuff that some people just, damn, stop giving me the same gun. Some people would just never understand or be able to comprehend because it's a different way of life. And you can't fake stuff like that. You can't fake experience. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that the 10% who's been dealt those hands listen, it's like, hey, yo, this dude might be on to something, he's lived this life, so he knows what he's talking about. Because, I mean, I'm I ain't got no college degree or nothing crazy. I finished high school, but that's because it was expected of me. I didn't go to college because I never wanted to. Like, I was considering getting it looked into and everything because it was kind of expected of me. But after I realized there was another way, I was like, "No, I'm not gonna go give up more of my life for school when, I mean." and so far it's worked out, but I went straight to construction, and I'm glad I did. But anyways, oh, I'm almost out of time. I'm gonna have to pause it. But no, so what was I saying? Get out of there. But no, essentially, it's just growing up that way. It teaches you things, and just those experiences only you blah. Sorry, sometimes I'll start doing that whenever my mind is going faster than my mouth. You can't teach those experiences. You can't fake that experience because you have to have experience in order to have that trait within you. You have to have been molded by that storm in life to be able to reap the reward of the storm. So because life was harder, I was leveling up a lot faster from a younger age compared to other people. I was a lot older through experience, because that's what you don't mature through aging. You mature through experience. That's why you got 40-year-olds who act like 20-year-olds. But then, like me, I was 9 acting like I was 18. 16. 18 is a little too mature. 16 probably. Um, so there's differences to the life, so and the experience and all that. So I'm hoping that everybody, the 10% who's really been through it and who's still going through it, hears this and was like, "Yo, this dude, he knows what he's talking about. He might be onto something. Let me look into his message a little bit more and see what he's promoting, because that's all I'm trying to do is help people out, trying to lead people to a better life and a better mentality, because your mind makes up your reality. Cora, stop, stop. Your mind makes up your reality. So as you perceive life, that's what you're gonna live. So in order to fix life, you have to fix how you look at life and how your mind thinks. And that's where Christ comes into play by renewing our minds, what the Bible says. It makes you see life from a different light, and it shows you that it's not all bad because you have a relationship with the deity that made everything, the one who provided everything that you see, every atom, everything, it all, like, there is such a way in how it all looks like, okay, sacred geometry is a big one. That's something that I've looked into. Thing called a flower life and things of that nature. Metatron's cube. Torah, stop. But I'm looking at all these things, and it shows sacred geometry is in everything that we do. It's in buildings. It's in our DNA. Stop. But it's stuff you gotta learn. It's stuff that you will continue to learn. But anyways, I do have to end this video. I'll probably do a part 2 to this. So if you have, stick around. Catch you on the flip flop. Peace.